Hi, everybody. I hope you're well. So, just wanting to bring in today the discussion about things that just aren't working for us anymore. And this is due to frequency, as I've always called new vibration. And that in itself can be a little bit confusing for people because people can misinterpret that thinking that old vibration is wrong. And it's not. The old vibration brings us everything that we do, how we work intuitively, how we deepen our own healing, and how we are manifesting. It's all absolutely as it's meant to be. But when we have got our energy to a level that we need to shift into the new frequency, then things just will not work in the same way, or things that you have been brilliantly competent at or even known for, or things that you deliver very comfortably for other people, that will change. And so some things that you once aspired to do are now no longer working, and that can be confusing. It can make people feel a little bit lost. And there's lots of levels to that. And so if we can just explore for the moment that it is a shift in energy and frequency, and of course it makes sense then that we have to do things slightly differently, we can then do what's required of us. And so there's three things that are required of us to shift into new vibration. One is the simplicity. One is allowing ourselves to have a deeper trust in ourselves, our intuition, and how we process that, and how we simply step into, let's say, being. And the third thing is allowing ourselves to surrender. And the level of surrender is where the process is taking us gradually through really freedom. And so when we say freedom, people will think, oh, we're talking just about the system and everything that's happening. And whilst that's part of ascension, much of it is freedom of ourself. And freedom of ourself is to reprogram how and what we do, what we choose, and look at our soul choices. But we have to trust the next layer of ourself to really step forward into what is really our next unknown. And so I want to say that the flow is that we don't get comfortable. It's not just where in old frequency we would aspire, shift, settle into something. That's our purpose. And that's how we go forward. Our purpose is continually evolving as we rest into that next level of energy and when we raise our vibration. And so we have to learn how to surrender to that. And the thing is, when you have been working intuitively for a very long time, you do feel like you do have all the answers, and you know that you have all those answers, but it can still be, in a way, an avoidance of shifting through that next level of barrier because it's something that you've always done or it's worked well for you. But the minute you start really feeling, hang on, I know if I'm honest, this isn't quite working. I need to look at what that needs to be. Or not working, the universe might not send you people to do that thing with you that you have done for a long time. Or you will maybe advertise something or choose to offer something to people that you have done really well, have much knowledge with. Maybe the people don't come to you as they did before. And so all of these are hugely positive signs, even when it doesn't feel like it. It's about you shifting now. These things may be just not working for you. And meditation is another one. Individual meditation, working much more on the guided level. It's just not taking people as deep as they once wanted or felt that they could achieve. And so it's having to take that plunge to go deeper within at soul level. And also collective meditation is part of the frequency that we're in, because everything is unity and moving forward. And so anything to do with collective is also incredibly powerful and even more potent. So, what makes us stay the same? What makes us experience something that helps us to grow, or we resonate with it and we feel it in our soul coiling, but then we go back into what is simply avoidance? What makes us avoid that? Often it's because we want to stay safe. And, as we're going through this ascension, there's an awful lot that's taking place in the world and globally. And we all know it. Many more people are very conscious of it all now. But once we start to explore that, it's learning how to have that awareness, but stay in our own lane, if you like, and focus on creating the new. But what happens is when we get that growth, we then look for people around us that are maybe of the love and light, which is a lovely vibration, but it can be a bit fluffy. It can be very allowing us all to create beautiful energy and stay aligned together, but there's not going to be much growth. And so there's a collective energy there where amazing energy of people, because it is amazing still, when the healing and everything that takes place amongst souls in these soul groups are brilliant, but then there's not too much growth because it's an avoidance to look at what really needs to change collectively. And the other reason is we can feel simply tired. Simply we have been working on this for such a long time. We see what has to happen globally, and we're tired of trying to push that forward. Or it can be impatience. That's one of the biggest aspects of our spirituality, is to embrace the patience. And so we generally seek to stay in circles that keep us in a comfortable place, and hope that we can create a better life in that aspect, where we know that we have to keep going within. And when something isn't working, it's our indication that we need to take more action and actively participate in the next part of our journey and stand together to do so. Instead of wanting to feel either comfortable or popular or amongst souls which seem to be much more united, it can be at a certain point you start to see that it can be false unity. Not because intention's not there, but because we're all having to push beyond what is comfortable. And that's a simple fact of ascension. And so once we accept that, we can then move into change and really consciously work on our intention, our soul choices, and take the next level of responsibility for ourselves, recognize our own growing and the implications of what effect that actually has on the collective. Once we start to feel these changes, we can feel a bit lost or lonely, or literally I always say to people that I'm helping in various ways or courses, etc., is one step in who you were to who you're becoming, and that transition. There's lots of labels for it now. One of them people come to me with is the word imposter syndrome. And, there's many things. It's all energetic though. And we just have to be courageous to step outside of that. And you might not always be popular. In fact, one of the ways that you know that you're doing well is when people tend to judge you or misjudge you because it's too far out of their comfort zone. And so you're going to have to just embrace that and step into the next level of you, and know that there's lots of us that are all doing that and have been for a very long time. So, we can hold space for you to do it. Likewise, you can hold space for others to do it. But we have to all keep growing, and none of us stop. I'm continually growing. And, there's been some things that I have done and taught and loved and been incredibly passionate about. Healing modalities, spiritual healing, teaching many, many Reiki masters, in spiritual circles and development. And when I shifted fully into the new vibration, I just simply started moving into what the current energy was requiring us to do. But it is actually bringing us such a simplicity, but our avoidance to understand that and accept it takes a process to reprogram ourselves and to really explore. So I just wanted to say that when things aren't working for you, it's time to really look within and don't try to conform and fit in, even though you see people around you that have even maybe led you, supported you, and kept you comfortable. And with love, you're going to have to go beyond and have courage to do so. And you will just feel a little bit freer and far more liberated. and step into that new vibration fully. Namaste.